Entrepreneurship. It's all about converting a new idea into a business venture and in the process creating jobs, creating wealth and contributing to overall societal progress. Entrepreneurs are the true engines of economic growth. Yet, many startup entrepreneurs, pulsating with creativity and energy as they are, often remain isolated. Despite globalization, they simply cannot access global markets. Now that's because they, at the stage that they are in, run enterprises that are invariably small.
I think that the small entrepreneurs, compared to the large companies, they have a drawback or a hurdle to overcome, and that is really to penetrate the market. The large company, multinational company with its enormous organization can easily access the market globally. The small company cannot.
The implication is clear. A lot of innovative thinking is just not reaching the global marketplace quickly. This is a big loss for the entire global community, and surely it needs to be addressed.
Well, one way to do it is actually by working with business incubators around the globe to try to work in a network condition.
Networking business incubators at a global level is exactly the process that TrekStep has initiated. TrekStep is located in Tiruchirappalli in southern India, and business incubation is one of its primary activities.
TrekStep, for the last 15-20 years of its existence, has promoted nearly 161 startup entrepreneurs. Some of them are growing phenomenally. They are growing into big enterprises. They are providing a lot of jobs for others. They are creating a lot of wealth for themselves and for governments in form of tax revenues, and they are the hope for the future.
In May 2005, TrekStep embarked on a new project, creating a network between business incubators in India and those in the European Union. The aim of the project was to create a strong platform for knowledge sharing and cross-cultural venture promotion.
In order to understand how these markets are functioning, it is crucial to know how things are going on. And one of the really good opportunities to learn that is have international relations, cross-cultural relations between business incubators in the different countries. So the managers of the business incubators are able to define the crucial problems or the crucial questions for their clients if they try to go into foreign markets, for example, the Indian market.
This program was supported by the European Union's Small Projects Facility Program and the Government of India's Department of Science and Technology. Partnering TrekStep in this project were the Association of German Technology and Business Incubation Centers, the Swedish Incubators and Science Parks, and the United Kingdom Business Incubation Limited.
We need to network business incubators primarily so they can learn from each other. One of the mistakes I think that has been made in the past is about people picking up models from some parts of the world and just lifting them and moving them elsewhere. It's very important that we adapt incubation models rather than adopting incubation models.
The premise of the program was clear. Networked business incubators can help in getting a better understanding of each other's markets, and by doing so, they can become powerful tools for nurturing high-growth startup ventures with a global vision.
Since the world is getting more and more global, I think that international networks will become more essential as well. So being a small startup in Sweden, it's not only the Swedish market that's important, It's also the international, the European, the US market, of course, but the global market as such. And we need connections and hubs and networks all over the world, actually, to create the large and successful companies.
If you're coming from Germany, you have no idea of the Indian market, you have no idea of the Indian culture, and it's really difficult. It's wonderful, but it's difficult, and you have to learn about it. Or you need persons who support you, and these are the managers. And you need contacts, and these are the incubator managers.
For an emerging economy like India, networked business incubators clearly has a special relevance.
Number one, it gives the Indian incubator managers an opportunity to network and enhance their vision as to what is happening at the international level, at the global level. The second reason is that at the ground level, we are looking for firms which collaborate in the knowledge and the technology area, and they collaborate with each other at the firm-to-firm level.
Indian reform process started in the early 90s. Till then, Indian economy was a very protected economy. Indian economy was sheltered, and our entrepreneurs have a safe playing grounds. But after that, when the economy opened up, the last 5 to 10 years, Indian multinational corporations, big players, have been able to contribute to the global economy. They've been able to demonstrate their potential in the global marketplace. But SMEs did not have that opportunities. SMEs have huge potential to contribute to the global market, but they did not have this opportunity. And this project provides them that opportunity to access global marketplace, global funds, global venture environment.
And frankly, I personally feel we should stop talking about business incubation management and talk about business.
At the outset, the program organized a training program on networking business incubators. 85 Indian business incubator managers and academicians, along with 6 European experts, participated in this 4-day session held in August 2005. It was the first opportunity for Indian incubator managers to understand incubation processes in Europe. Participants also understood the importance of networking and its potential. After the workshop, the European visitors got a chance to visit some incubators in India.
The thing that strikes me really working with business incubators here in India, I think it's that we have so much in common, that there are so many similarities, despite the fact that we are operating in completely different cultures, completely different economies, conditions, etc. There are a large number of things that we have in common, so we can discuss, learn from each other.
And then there were the striking differences.
I think one aspect that has been particularly important to me is that when you come to developing economies who are suffering from a degree of stress in many cases and crisis in some other cases, what that does is generate a very high level of entrepreneurship and innovation that we don't see in the United Kingdom and parts of Western Europe.
If you look into the, let me say, environmental conditions of a lab or an incubator lab in Germany and in India, it's totally different. It's really totally different. People in Germany, they like to have a very comfortable life. They don't have it in India to that extent. But this is not any kind of obstacle, because they're really motivated to do things, and in that case, I really can confirm that my experience in India was, for me at least, very, very fruitful to pick up these kind of attitudes.
Others were quick to absorb interesting organizational ideas.
We have been working with equity as our basic revenue model. We talked to one business incubator manager who applied a combined model between royalties and equity, which I find is can be very, very useful. And most likely we will adapt to some kind or try that model in the future.
The next important step was a learning tour to Europe. A 12-member team from India visited some chosen business incubators in the partner EU countries. The team included policymakers, incubator managers, as well as entrepreneurs.
The trip was a real eye-opener in the sense it helped me to really understand and appreciate the value add-ons incubator can provide to a client company. For instance, in Sweden, the type of services, it's not mere space or services or the seat support money. The incubator manager also participate in the company activities very dynamically, and they also act as a CEO of a company until they become successful.
The single most important point or the important issue that I found in every incubator, in every city that we visited in that 19-20 days we were there, is that everyone believes in the process of incubation. This has been particularly enriching for me as I am in the process of setting up the first high-tech incubator in the eastern part of the country.
What we found interesting during our visit to the incubators in Europe was that the infrastructural facilities that were designed were very much in tune with what the startup entrepreneurs really require. The kind of facilities, the equipments, the domains, and etc. were very much tuned to what an entrepreneur needs at a very startup stage.
Entrepreneurs like Shankar Raj felt empowered by this visit.
இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் மூலமாக நான் வந்து யூரோப்பில் உள்ள சில இன்குபேஷன் ஆண்டர்பிரினர்ஸை வந்து மீட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கிடைச்சிது. அதில் வந்து எங்களுக்கு நல்ல கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ் கிடைச்சிது. என்னோட கொலீக் இன்னொரு ஆண்டர்பிரினரும் நாங்களும் சேர்ந்து அதோட தொடர்ச்சியாக வந்து ஹேனோவர் ட்ரேட் ஃபேருக்கு போனோம். அங்கே வந்து we established some contacts with European entrepreneurs. We are in regular touch with them. அது வந்து நியர் ஃபியூச்சரில் வந்து நல்ல டெவலப்மெண்ட்டாக வந்து அது வரும்னு we are believing.
So, informal linkages were already being forged. But what was the response of the European entrepreneurs?
I took some requests from German companies how to cooperate with Indian companies, in a particular case in the leather industry. So the outcome was that they met in Munich and they had a meeting concerning the future cooperation. As far as I know, I didn't track that, but as far as I know, they had a follow-up meeting and they are now in a kind of building up collaboration.
During the visit of the Indian delegation, we started a survey among incubated companies in Sweden, and we soon found out that there's a big interest of somehow finding the potential that is in India for them, for the companies in Sweden. So right now we are investigating some cases, or maybe moving businesses here, or maybe conducting research in India for Swedish companies.
But what really was the business potential of networking Indian and European incubators? And what were the strategic issues that would have to be addressed while forging such linkages? In order to seek out relevant perceptions, the program carried out an elaborate online survey. 84 respondents from 4 countries participated in this study. The results, which TrekStep put together in a detailed report, were revealing.
The survey revealed that small entrepreneurs were very keen on doing business in other countries. But there were barriers. We wanted to know them. The survey showed us that the first barrier was the lack of information that existed about business potential in the other countries. The second was the lack of incubator support.
Meanwhile, there were other unforeseen linkages that were emerging. Gerard Bonds, who is leading the EOS project, recounts.
EOS stands for Euro Office Services. It is a project sponsored by the European Commission. In this project, we have 21 partners, basically major European partners, and in order to fulfill the needs of the small innovative firms, we were looking for major partners outside Europe, and thanks to the EU-India Business Incubation Network, we found out TrekStep, and more I know about what they are doing, more happy I feel on the 2 years that we will work together on the EOS project.
But what is the EOS project all about?
So the purpose of the EOS project, Euroffice Services project, is to capitalize on existing good practices which have been identified in previous projects, including the EU-India Business Incubator Network, and to make them available in a professional manner into business incubators worldwide.
Gerard Bonds got a chance to better his understanding in June 2006. That's when the EU-India Business Incubator Network program organized a conference. Present at this event were policy planners, academicians, entrepreneurs and incubator managers.
Indo-EU conference, which is now going on in Trichy, is important because it creates a relationship between the business incubators in other countries and in India, which facilitates the movement of companies from one country to the other.
Participants, some of them new to the idea of networking, got a chance to understand country-specific experiences and the value of networking.
The conference has been fantastic. It's been a really eye-opening experience. When you work in the UK, you tend to be very insular and inward-looking, and to come here and to experience a range of different cultures and a range of different perspectives has really opened my eyes.
Indian entrepreneurs, many of them incubatees, got a chance to present their innovations.
The conference has been great. It gave us a lot of ideas for us to share our innovations, our ideas with people who have come from the European community. We could see a lot happening on our innovations if this network can take a shape whereby our ideas can reach their marketplace.
There were discussions on the value of networking and the concrete steps that would have to be taken in order to establish a vibrant network.
What we need to do in terms of taking this forward is to build teams which bring components and strengths from the various economies. By building those teams, we can start to explore opportunities for new innovations and new technologies that perhaps would be swallowed up in a national sense, but when we can bring that perspective, which in effect is global, we can attract global markets much more readily.
I think one of my dreams would be to find a kind of database which is accessible for everybody, who shows you in which area is which technology available, in which area is which company dealing with certain technologies, how is the market developed and things like that, so that you can focus on your needs.
By the end of the project term, the program had achieved considerable clarity about the tasks ahead.
The network itself is growing, clearly. I mean, we have established that level of trust. Clearly what we've now got to do is to turn that element of friendship and trust into practical applications and come up with direct solutions where we bring clients together who can develop joint ventures as far as their businesses are concerned.
At the end of this project, when we are almost now at the terminal stage, there's an immense confidence which has been built amongst the partners. We are already talking about soft landing of firms. We are already talking about how these networks can now work at a bilateral level, where one-to-one relationship is already established.
So far we have not established that kind of project, but coming back home I hope to at least bring 5 or 10 potential prospects for Sweden, some cooperation projects, either taking business from India to Europe or vice versa.
What is also significant is the change in attitudes about the very possibility of networking.
Before the project, entrepreneurs and business incubation managers have been doubtful about working with the European business incubators in promoting cross-cultural ventures, in accessing their technologies, but now they are more confident. The second special element of surprise is that Policymakers are now seeing this as the unique and most vibrant development action for producing sustainable relationship between Europe and India.
The foundation stone has clearly been laid. Network business incubators can now become important platforms for entrepreneurs who were formerly confined to their national economies. They will now be able to bring their creativity and vision to the global marketplace, and in the process diffuse emerging technologies in a manner that was not possible before, creating new jobs, accelerating progress, and fostering growth at the global level.